clock down to throws downfield. Goodell hold on.
Day for Big Shedeur. Let's put things into perspective. Take this time to create competitive commotion. What I mean about competitive commotion is you're in a quarterback battle. You want to get the whispers, the chirping. Hey man, well Shedeur look good. Hey.
The NFL just got hit with the plot twist of the year, and no, it's not another Tom Brady on retirement. Cleveland Browns tickets are vanishing faster than Taylor Swift tour tees, and the culprit? Shedeur Sanders. One preseason game was all it took for him to turn the dog pound into a full-blown sellout circus. Now it's bandwagon season in Cleveland, seat prices are skyrocketing, and the city's celebrating like the Lombardi Trophy just showed up in August. So how exactly did Shedeur break the Browns' economy? Let's find out.
That performance on Friday, I was in Cleveland when the game was going on, and people at the restaurant where I was eating were truly locked in looking at how Shedeur Sanders was playing. They were excited.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe Shedeur Sanders to the channel. It helps more than you think. August isn't supposed to look like this in Cleveland. Normally, Browns fans are busy grumbling about offensive line depth, crossing their fingers that the kicker can make anything past 40 yards, and talking themselves into believing that the wide receiver they snagged off waivers is secretly a hidden Pro Bowler. But this year? Different story. The city skipped straight past cautious optimism and gone headfirst into football hysteria. And the spark? Shedeur Sanders. The rookie strolled into what should have been a throwaway preseason game and, without even trying, lit up the field so hard he turned Northeast Ohio into the NFL's hottest ticket market, in the middle of summer.
What Shedeur did Friday night makes me anxious now to see Dillon Gabriel in the preseason. Because I want to see what he can do. And look, if Dillon goes out there and he does what Shedeur did, I got no problem saying I was wrong. Then, okay, then Dillon's just a bad practice quarterback. Dillon very good on the whiteboard. Dillon very good at memorizing stuff. Dillon very good in games. He's a terrible practice quarterback. I would have no problem saying that. But right now, he's a terrible practice quarterback.
Well, here's the thing.
You'd swear this was a playoff push with the way Cleveland's losing its mind. Ticket resale sites are lighting up like Times Square on New Year's Eve. Seats in the nosebleeds, the ones you could normally snag for a couple of crumpled 20s and maybe a pack of beef jerky, are now going for prices that feel more like courtside at the NBA Finals. Some fans are shelling out more cash to watch Shedeur Sanders in August than they spent on their very first car. The last time Cleveland buzzed like this, LeBron was announcing his return, the first time. And now? All it took was one rookie quarterback lighting up a preseason game to turn the city's sports economy upside down.
Right, they want Shedeur to play and start, because guess what? That preseason game is going to get record ratings. I thought the game was at Cleveland, but it's at the Panthers. So no matter what, think about all those people, because hey, Jackson, they got a big crew of folks up there in Charlotte. They're going to be in the house. You're going to have people that's going to call them all over that know Shedeur. So they're going to pack that place. So I think honestly, Coach Stefanski has been the one that say, hey, we're just letting it play out.
The NFL front office has to be pacing right now. Cleveland ticket sales aren't supposed to skyrocket because of hope. That's never been part of the business plan. The Browns are supposed to be the dependable market, loyal fans, steady turnout, nothing that sends shockwaves through the league. But then Shedeur shows up, slinging passes, dodging defenders, and suddenly everyone within a 500-mile radius is ready to refinance their house for season tickets. Somewhere, Roger Goodell is staring at a spreadsheet, muttering to himself, how do we bottle this and drop it into every city? Shedeur didn't just play football, he rewrote Cleveland's entire economic forecast.
How do things stand right now in terms of not only Shedeur having a better grip of that QB battle, but just making it with the team?
Well, what you just said kind of lines up with what one Brown source joked with me about, that it may be the most hyped up and most talked about preseason opening game in NFL history. The reality is this, though. Shedeur did extremely well. The Brown staff was happy with how he performed in that first preseason game, but in the grand scheme of things, the depth chart there in Cleveland seems like it will remain unchanged moving forward. So it's things.
The wildest part? All of this unfolded in a preseason game, football's version of a dress rehearsal where half the cast is still figuring out their lines. Usually, these games are so dull fans leave at halftime just to beat traffic that isn't even there. But not this night. This time, people stayed glued to their seats, roared like it was January football, and filmed shaky cell phone clips they'll proudly show their grandkids one day. Shedeur Sanders didn't just take snaps, he transformed a glorified practice into a full-blown spectacle, and Cleveland will be talking about it for years.
Shedeur Sanders last night, the most watched preseason game in NFL history. Time to get into the Shedeur Sanders thing. Now,
and let's be real, this is Cleveland. This is a fan base that knows pain. They've had quarterbacks come and go like bad Tinder dates. They've endured more rebuilds than a cheap IKEA shelf. They've cheered for teams that could blow a 20-point lead to a middle school flag football squad. So when they see a quarterback come in and make the offense look like it's actually alive, they react like it's a miracle from the football gods. Some fans are already out here predicting MVP seasons. Others are demanding Shedeur start week 1. There are probably a few people who have already ordered customized jerseys with Super Bowl MVP printed on the back. One guy was spotted at the stadium with a sandwich board that read Shedeur 2024, and nobody was entirely sure if he meant for the Browns or for president. But this ticket craze has taken on a life of its own. You've got people who have never watched a football game in their lives suddenly talking about supporting the home team. You've got resale prices making people rethink buying groceries. There's even talk of a shortage of Browns gear in stores because fans are snatching it up like there's a national shortage on orange fabric.
He's so prepared right now. A lot of people are approaching it like a preseason game. He's approaching it like a game. And that's how he's always approached everything, to prepare and to approach it like this is it. He's thankful and appreciative of the opportunity.
And the best part? The NFL's marketing machine didn't see this coming. They've spent years trying to create storylines, hyping up rivalries, pushing marquee matchups, manufacturing drama. And all it took to break their ticket algorithm was a 21-year-old with a strong arm and enough swagger to make Cleveland believe again. Somewhere in an NFL boardroom, there's a marketing executive smashing his head against the table because he just realized Shedeur Sanders sold more tickets in one weekend than the entire Thursday Night Football campaign last year. The buzz is so out of control that even other fanbases are jealous. Pittsburgh fans are pretending they don't care, but deep down, they're Googling Shedeur Sanders rookie card when nobody's watching. Baltimore fans are trying to make jokes, but they're also quietly watching his highlights. And Cincinnati fans? Well, they're still mad that Joe Burrow is apparently allergic to staying healthy, so they're coping by pretending the Browns' hype is overblown. The Browns front office is probably losing its mind in the best possible way. This is the kind of problem they've never had before, too much demand. Usually, they're figuring out how to convince people to come to games when it's 20 degrees. And the team is 3-9. Now they've got luxury boxes selling out faster than free hot dogs. They might have to start doing background checks on ticket buyers just to make sure they're actually Browns fans and not undercover Steelers fans trying to sneak in.
But overall, this was tremendous. You know, that's probably a little overstatement, but it was very good for him. I would give him a B+. I could see if someone wanted to give him an A- when you consider the circumstances. Like every 5th round pick is under some pressure in the preseason because you might not even make the team. But for him, like if he went out there and played poorly, couldn't get the offense under control, was bad at the line of scrimmage, made some bad throws, who knows what his future would have been.
Correct.
And don't think the players haven't noticed. Every veteran on the roster is looking at Shedeur like, hey, kid, you just made my job easier. Suddenly the offense looks fun, the defense is flying around because the crowd actually has energy, and even the special teams guys are walking around with a little more swagger. It's amazing what happens when a city feels like their team actually has a shot at being exciting. There's already a cottage industry forming around this hype. Local bars are naming drinks after Shedeur. There's a Shedeur burger in one Cleveland diner that's just a triple patty monstrosity smothered in cheese and onions because, according to the owner, that's how a real QB eats. Someone else is selling shirts that say Shedeur saves Sundays, and they're selling out online. Even the local car dealerships are getting in on it. One ad literally said, "Come test drive a truck and we'll tell you we saw Shedeur throw a touchdown." The craziest thing is this is just the beginning. If he actually keeps this up in the regular season, the ticket prices are going to look like Beyoncé just announced a world tour in Cleveland. People are going to start selling family heirlooms to get seats. Somebody's going to trade in their fishing boat just to get into the dog pound. We could see a black market emerge where Browns tickets are traded like currency. Forget Bitcoin, in Ohio, Shedeur tickets will be the new gold standard.
So a lot of people incarcerated that definitely talk to their friends and talk to me to tell me my friend from jail is, you know, watching you play and watching everything that's going on. So it's just like the world, you know, I say is so small and everybody.
And the NFL knows it. They're not panicking because tickets are selling, they're panicking because they can't control it. This wasn't a carefully staged marketing rollout. This wasn't some league-approved storyline. This was organic, unpredictable, and driven entirely by the fact that one guy made football in Cleveland look fun again. For a league that likes to script everything down to the halftime show, that's terrifying. If you're the NFL, you're used to controlling the hype machine. But how do you bottle something like this? How do you tell fans to calm down when they've already decided they're riding this train all the way to February? You can't. And maybe that's the beauty of it. This isn't about analytics or market trends. This is about a city starved for football joy suddenly finding a reason to believe, and spending absurd amounts of money to be part of it. In the end, it's not just about Shedeur Sanders throwing a few nice passes in a preseason game. It's about the fact that in a league where everything feels corporate and polished, Cleveland just reminded everyone that sometimes, sports are about pure, ridiculous, over-the-top excitement. Sure, maybe it's too early to call this the start of something legendary. Maybe reality will come crashing back in week 3. But for now, the city's lit, the tickets are gone, and the NFL is scrambling to figure out how the Browns of all teams became the hottest show in town. And honestly, if you're looking for the real winner here, it's probably the guy who bought season tickets last year when nobody cared. That man just turned his seats into a retirement plan.
Diana, most interesting thing in preseason week number 1 was what?
How different the league feels about Shedeur Sanders' performance compared to the rest of us.
Funny.
Chase, my colleague on Scoop City, quarterback, 14 years, studies film like a lunatic. He's like an Orlovsky. Loves it. Like, just consumes this stuff.
Before this preseason game, Browns fans had a very specific pecking order. The diehards sat in the cold for decades, the casuals popped in for the occasional rivalry game, and the bandwagon fans were mythical creatures that only appeared when the team went above .500. Now, every human being in Cleveland suddenly claims they've been a fan since birth. People are digging up baby photos in Browns onesies and swearing they've been at every home game since 1999, never mind that there's zero proof of this and they were spotted at a Steelers tailgate 3 years ago. The city streets are a walking billboard for Browns fever. Every car seems to have a fresh decal. People are wearing orange and brown like they just discovered those are the only 2 colors in the spectrum. Even grocery stores are stacking soda cans into goalposts and football helmets. One bakery is making cookies in the shape of Shedeur's face, and I don't care who you are, there's something both impressive and slightly terrifying about eating the sugary head of a rookie quarterback. And the merch scalping? Oh, it's real. There are people out here flipping limited edition Browns hats for triple the price on Facebook Marketplace. Someone sold a Shedeur Sanders, The Dog Awakens hoodie for $300, which is insane considering it was printed on the kind of hoodie you'd normally find in the clearance bin at Walmart. But that's the economy of hype for you.
What was your reaction to Shedeur Sanders' first game as a pro?
I was extremely impressed. Shedeur Sanders was comfortable and confident. You saw him stand in the pocket and take hits and deliver strikes. Some of the throws.
Of course, this sudden surge is also creating some hilariously awkward situations. Lifelong season ticket holders are now sitting next to total strangers who had to sell their jet skis to afford the seats. One guy told me he's never seen so many people asking him where the bathrooms are. The diehards are trying to be polite, but you can tell they're silently judging the newcomers who don't know the words to "Here We Go Brownies." And let's talk about the tailgates. Browns tailgates have always been a wild scene, half party, half bizarre carnival, with just a dash of danger. But with Shedeur mania sweeping the city, tailgates have turned into full-blown music festivals. We're talking DJs blasting hype tracks, massive grills smoking up the entire parking lot, and inflatable footballs bigger than most compact cars. There's a guy who painted his entire body in Browns colors and claims he's going to keep it that way until Shedeur throws his first interception, which could either be a few weeks or tomorrow, depending on how the football gods feel. And the media? Oh, they've smelled the blood in the water. Every sports network is suddenly sending crews to Cleveland. Local reporters who used to beg their producers for one story a month on the Browns are now doing live hits from the stadium every morning. National pundits who couldn't name 5 Browns players last year are now tossing around phrases like playoff sleeper and dark horse contender like they've been on the bandwagon forever. It's shameless, but it's also hilarious to watch.
I told y'all so. I told y'all Shedeur is the baddest man in the world, and I personally still think Cleveland is going to sabotage him even furthermore. So Tony Grossi, who I've been on his head for a minute, and I want all of y'all to tell me thank you, because apparently I lost my head. Your favorite YouTuber ain't been predicting. I think I'm Moses over here. I've been predicting everything about this. Now Stephen A. Smith want to say, I think they're sabotaging Shedeur Sanders, but we've been saying it over here for months.
The funniest part might be how rival teams are reacting. Steelers fans are making jokes about Cleveland winning their Super Bowl in August. Ravens fans are insisting it's just preseason hype. Bengals fans are pretending they're too cool to care. But here's the thing, they care. They're watching every highlight, every stat, every little move Shedeur makes, because deep down, they know what happens if this hype turns into reality. They know what it means if Cleveland actually has a quarterback who can light up a scoreboard. Meanwhile, the Browns' social media team is working overtime. Every throw Shedeur makes is instantly clipped, slow-mo'd, and blasted out with a caption that makes it sound like he just cured a major disease. A 5-yard completion? QB1 making it look easy. A scramble for a first down? Fearless leader. It's marketing gold, and they're not about to let this wave die down anytime soon. The ticket sales are also spilling over into away games. Normally, when the Browns are on the road, you might see a small, loyal section of orange in the stands. Now, Browns fans are traveling like it's a rock tour. People are booking flights to random AFC cities just for the chance to see Shedeur play live.
Everybody expected Shedeur had this kind of breakout game. It was a very solid game. He was impressive. That should earn him some first-team reps. And instead, he got more reps than he had all season long, all off-season long, except they were the 2s and the 3s with Dillon Gabriel.
And let's not underestimate how much this puts pressure on the rest of the league. You can already feel other front offices peeking over at Cleveland thinking, we need our own Shedeur Sanders. Which means come next draft, every GM in America will be trying to find a quarterback with the same combination of confidence, skill, and the ability to turn ticket sales into a stock market spike. Good luck with that. Lightning like this doesn't strike often. If Shedeur actually delivers in the regular season, this could be the kind of story that rewrites how the NFL looks at Cleveland. No more punching bag of the AFC North. No more but of every sports joke. We're talking national spotlight, primetime games, playoff predictions, and, yes, maybe even those cursed 2 words Browns fans whisper about when they think nobody's listening, Super Bowl. But until then, Cleveland's riding high, the ticket lines are insane, and Shedeur Sanders has already done what most quarterbacks couldn't in 2 decades, make the Browns the hottest show in football.